Hey, it's Lynne Brown. I'm a speaker, trainer, and coach with the John Maxwell team and a teaching partner with Empowered Living. The first half of my life was literally spent trapped by the opinions of other people. And then in my spare time, I was a people pleaser. So I really had a lot going on there. And if that wasn't bad enough, to top everything off, I had a broken mindset. Now, the real sucky part about all that is that I did not even realize, I was not aware of just the stuff that I was experiencing, and I couldn't see what I couldn't see. And until I just drew the line in the sand one day, and I was so sick and tired of being sick and tired. And I don't know if any of you are like me, if you've ever experienced that, but I was sick of it. And I remember where I was when I made my decision. I shut my office door and I just said out loud, it's like, there's got to be more than this. And it was that day that I took a step in the direction of my dreams. And I became a speaker, trainer, and coach, and began a growth journey that has just changed the trajectory of my life. And I'm still like day one excited. It's been 6 years, but I'm like drinking from the fire hose and just failing forward. So I am not perfect. I don't consider myself an expert in anything. I'm a work in progress. So if you are perfect, then, yes, listen to the podcast today because we have an amazing guest. But after that, you might not want to follow me because I am not. I am a work in progress, imperfectly perfect, but created by an amazing God. And so today I'm super excited to introduce to you my friend Charissa. She is coming at us with a topic that honestly, in my life, my young years, I was not educated. I was not disciplined. I was not taught how to control and operate from the area of finance in my life, and it was very evident. So, my journey with that ended in a bankruptcy. But since then, I've recovered and doing much better. But today we've brought in a champion for you today. So I want to turn it over to Charissa. Charissa, talk to us. Tell us what you're most excited about.
Hi, Lynn. Thank you so much for having me on. I totally relate to where you're at. I used to be really scared about money too, and had a lot of issues about money. In fact, when I was first married, we both brought in debt, and I was just struggling because I was the sole provider providing for my family. And I had one of those moments of I'm sick and tired right there in the grocery store, right next to the chocolate chips and the flour. And I was crying because I had counted up my groceries and realized I had overspent again. And I just why couldn't I get this? I didn't know what I was doing. And I didn't have that education either. So I stumbled along the best I could. And then the next couple of years, I was able to, by God's grace, pay off our debt completely. And that moment was a life-changing moment as I watched those numbers drop to zero. Because
Wow.
at that point, I still hated money. So I wanted to okay, this is stressful. I need to get this out of my life. And so I started really delving into how to handle money and finances, doing it wisely with principles from the Bible. And as I did, I really saw a turnaround in my own finances and peace of mind. And I was able to help other friends and family who were like, how are you doing this? How are you paying off your debt and paying cash for school? And over the next few years, I saved up $79,775 to pay cash for my husband's education.
Wow. That is so amazing in such a short period.
Yeah.
Pivot. You had some mental shift.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And that's what you asked me about what I'm so passionate about. When I realized that these tips that were working for me, they worked for other women to help them move from being scared and stressed out about money to confidently handling their finances with peace of mind. That is what makes me so excited. And I'm so passionate to see these women set free from that mindset, that struggle with the money, and to be able to handle it confidently.
Wow. That is so powerful. And it's so true. You hit the head on the nail, because I think, well, I'll just speak for myself. I'm not going to speak for everyone because we have listeners all over the world, but my strategy for dealing with money was to avoid the conversation at all costs.
Mm-hmm.
No pun intended, at all costs. But I was intimidated by it. I thought it was bad. I thought it was, a lot of times we grow up thinking that, money's the root of all evil. No, it's not. Money is an idea. It's an exchange for a service. There's nothing wrong with it. And, we've got to understand it, be educated. So this is what you do every day for women. Wow. What an empowering position you must have.
Well, I love it. I love seeing the transformation that happens, not only in their numbers, but in themselves as a person, as a woman. And then that impacts their family. And then they have the freedom to share their gift with the world that God has given them. And because when you're struggling with money and you're trying to make sure there's enough to have money for groceries at the end of the month or trying to pay off the debt, you just don't have that space to be able to do that. So I love seeing that transformation. I do have 3 points that really help me move from money fear to confidence. Would you like me to share those?
Oh yeah, that would be awesome. I know I'm going to write it down too, but yes, thank you. Yes, go for it. Tell us 3 things.
So the first thing I realized is having an intentional plan for your money is powerful. Now, I grew up and I thought budgeting was taking my receipts and throwing them on my desk until it was this huge pile, and I'd have to spend all Saturday trying to figure out these crumpled, white, faded receipts on where my money had gone.
Have you been to my house?
Well, this doesn't just happen for me, I've learned, but that's not budgeting. Budgeting is having an intentional plan for your money ahead of time before the month begins, where you're in control of your money. You tell your money where to go. And I have a worksheet that I can give you guys. It's a budget method that I come up with that really nails down to have money for food and groceries and housing and all the things that we really want to for our family. And when we have these things at the top of our budget instead of last, because many of us are like, we wait until, it relieves so much stress. So that worksheet is at changeyourfinances.com/grittywomen. And I believe it'll be in the show notes, but come get that worksheet. So don't take notes. But when you have those 4 things at the top of your lights, I'm all out of order. Food,
Okay.
Lights and water, housing, and transportation. When those things are taken care of, you can breathe. Your family's needs are taken care of. So that's the first thing, is being intentional with it. The second thing that I learned is that money doesn't have to be stressful. It's really simple, small things that you can do today that will make a huge difference in your financial future, both right now with your family and in the future. And it also helps you to have better relationships, because when you're not stressed about money, everyone's happier.
That is so true. The whole camp is happier when that angst is taken away.
So what causes money stress? We don't know where it's going. We have no idea how to manage it. We aren't making the progress that we want to make on paying off the debt or saving money, or we feel like we should be doing all these things because I'm an adult, I'm a mom, I'm a wife, whatever, and you're not up to the level that you thought you should be. Well, most of us didn't have good role models, and most of us don't have a simple plan to follow. So I change all of that in my materials. I have all of that. The third thing that I have learned that has really transformed my whole approach towards money is that, one, is God has given you a gift, each of us. It's a dream, and some of us, it's buried for so long, we don't even remember what it is, but He has given you a gift to be able to bless those around you. And He wants you to use it. And so He also is such a great provider that He will take care of your needs, with whether it's, mountains of debt, whether it's bankruptcy, whether it's you just can't get savings in and you keep getting hit by unexpected expenses. I've seen time and time again how God has provided for everything I needed. And so when I really trust Him to provide for me and trust Him to give me that wisdom to manage my money when I've been scared of it, to pay off the debt, to find ways to save. He gives me such creative ideas. And when your money is taken care of, when your family's needs are taken care of, you have the freedom and the ability to be able to share your gift with those around you, whether it's just your talents or financial, whatever it is. It doesn't have to be financial, donating to whatever charity, although that's part of it, but that's not what your gift is. And so when money struggles hold us back, you're not living out the fullness of who you are created to be.
Wow, that's so true, because it's so amazing how our minds work. Whether we're thinking or saying a certain thing, our brains do not know the difference between that. And so we can operate in lack or we can operate, in abundance. And our actions truly speak louder than our words. And so we have to be aware of what we're thinking about. And sometimes it means just turning off the noise and thinking deep into those questions and answering those questions that we don't want to really answer. Like, why does my stomach hurt when I think about money? What are those things? What are the triggers? What's taking me back to childhood? Was there stress in your childhood about money? Whatever it is, we can fix it. Whatever you are aware of, you can fix.
Well, and money management is a skill that none of us were born with. So take that pressure off.
That's right.
But it's also a skill that all of us can learn and we can improve.
Wow.
And it doesn't define who you are, what mistakes you've done in the past. We've all made them. It doesn't define who you are, and it doesn't define what your future can look like with your finances.
That's right. There's such a mindset block in this area, and people, we're raised to, I think, not to talk about it. Like, why is it so taboo? Why can't we talk about it and share about it? I'll never forget when we were going through that really rough financial piece. My big goal was to make sure nobody knew it. That was my big goal.
It's shameful.
yeah. It was just like there was all this attachment to it. And like, first of all, most bazillionaires went through so many bankruptcies and financial wrecks that it's not even funny. It was okay for them. It's okay. It's not anything. It's just part of the process sometimes that it has to happen. So anyway, yeah, that's so powerful. I love these tips. And thank you so much for giving them to us. Wow, just giving them away. That's great. Just sewing it to us.
It's my pleasure, because I want to see 100,000 women go from being scared and stressed out about money to having a simple plan and handling it with confidence and peace of mind. That's my whole goal. But I also know that you guys can do it. Like any of us can. It just takes a simple plan to follow, and it takes someone to walk with you and to encourage you to be able to make that. But here's the secret. Not only bazillionaires, but I guarantee you most of your friends, family have had money struggles. Probably all of them.
Yeah.
But it doesn't look like that on social media.
That's right. You only see the perfect highlight reels on social media. And there's so much, I spend a lot of my work coaching just through those mindsets, just getting out of that comparison trap and out of that image that we see bombarded. I think people, the average person checks the Instagram post 150 times a day.
Oh,
and when you see 150 people that you think are doing it right, that is nothing but just a train wreck for you. So tell us again that the way, give us your website again with our free gift you're giving us.
So it's at changeyourfinances.com/grittywomen. It's a special budget worksheet that kind of outlines how I set up the budget with the 4 priorities at the top. And it's been super effective. Hundreds of women have downloaded this and have really found it helpful.
Oh, that's
But can I say one more thing?
Yes.
So one of the proudest moments of my entire life, Lynn, I'm sitting there in the stands. Air horns are blowing, watching my husband in his cap and gown walk across that stage completely debt-free. I was so proud of him, so proud of us, because we had paid off our debt. We had saved up and paid cash for his school. And along the way, God was able to help me to overcome that money fear and have confidence and peace of mind with it. And I'm not anyone special. So what's happened for me certainly can happen for you, any of you. And if you need someone to walk with you, if you need encouragement, come over and send me an email or send me a DM. I'm at Change Your Finances on Instagram or Facebook. And I just love connecting with women, especially because I know what's possible for you when you get a hold and change your finances.
Wow. Thank you so much. And we certainly will. We'll include all of your links and, with the show notes when we push your podcast out. And I just want to thank you again for sharing your time with us and your knowledge, but knowledge that is organized in a way that we can easily apply it. And it's just such a simple process. And wow, just to think that you have applied this to your life and seen these results, and no more going down the aisle of the grocery store having to choose between chocolate chips or flour or what you have to put back. You now, because of your discipline, you can make choices based on what you need and want for your life. So thanks again for being with us today. And when you saw the Gritty Women podcast, what made you raise your hand? G is for gratitude, R resilience, I is for inspire. The 2 T's are think tough, and Y is you do you. What resonates with you the most?
I have to say I love your whole Gritty acronym, and I do resonate with a lot of it. But when talking about money, I would say that gratitude for how God has provided for me to be able to do all this stuff with money and to change my mindset about it. And then just resilience, because, sometimes it does take a little while to turn that whole ship around and to make a difference where you're paying off the debt and you're saving the money. And it doesn't, if you just try it for 1 month, you're not going to get where you want to go. You have to keep on going with it. But it doesn't have to be stressful or complicated. It's just small changes that you can do, but you need to keep doing them because we're dealing with money until we die, right? So we might as well deal with it.
Yeah, there's no escaping this. It's not something that you can, donate anywhere. It's here. It's a daily discipline. So wow, you have just equipped us, and I know I've taken some of these tools you've given, and I will put them in my toolkit for sure. And thank you so much for the gift. Wow, that was so thoughtful of you to pour into us that way. And I know that women all over the world will benefit from it. So I just want to thank you again for your time today. And remember, gritty is the new strong. Gritty is the new pretty, and hey, we'll say gritty is the new rich. So if we have that, we'll be able to do anything. So thank you again for joining us today, Charissa.
You're so welcome.